moving along. Let me get this TV out the way. Let me go back to my blog, and we can get our last two angles out the way. All right, so the last two angles we got, or the last two storylines are from NXT. Robert might know more about this than Vlad, but Vlad, I still want your opinion on something that happened on NXT. So Eddie Thorpe.
Not this guy again. Oh, God. I thought we were done with him.
Well, he pulled a swerve. I don't know if you guys know this. No one ever really attacked him. He fucking staged it himself. So he didn't compete in Iron Survivor, and he got a title match out of it. So fucking genius, all right? And now he's got a new heel persona. He's got an earring and everything. So it's kind of funny. Actually, Vlad, this segment where they revealed it was a swerve, it didn't make the error. Like an AEW style, like it got cut off at the end. And I didn't catch it on social media. But
it was at the very end of the show?
It was at the very end of the show. Yeah, I didn't even notice it on my review of the previous week's NXT. I didn't have it on there because I didn't know it happened. So
I watched it live, so I saw it. So
you saw it?
Yeah, I saw it.
Oh man, for some reason the video I had didn't have it. So okay, so I didn't know about it. But this is where he revealed to Ava, and this is his new heel persona, and Ava's all pissed, like, you know.
What is that around his neck? What is that?
I think it's like a Native American. It looks like a Native American thing.
He's Native American,
I think.
Gotcha.
But yeah, Ava went into this pissed off that she got swerved, you know. So this is the good, funny little Ava face. But okay, so Trick Williams has Obafemi, you know, breathing down his neck if he wins this. So the match was Eddie Thorpe against Trick Williams for the NXT title. Okay, and I want to show you the finish. Well, I have pictures of it. I don't have a video, but it looked good. There was a ref bump. Okay, here's a ref bump. I think Trick Williams' feet went into the ref. You guys can see that. And then, so there's no ref. So Eddie Thorpe looked like he won. So Robert, in my opinion, Eddie Thorpe is the real champion, regardless of the finish. But the finish here was weird because after the ref gets up, the second ref, by the way, came in way too late. The match continues. There was a trick shot. So this is knee to the face, which is Trick's knee finishing move. And then Trick from there does that thing where he falls on Thorpe, but his shoulders are down. You see that, Vlad? So, yeah. And then I guess Thorpe got one arm around him. So his arm right there is on him. And then there's two refs in the ring. So this ref is looking at Thorpe. This ref is looking at Trick. And then this ref doesn't see that Thorpe's leg is under the rope. So Thorpe is not getting pinned. His leg is under the rope. So they named Trick the champion, but then the refs are like talking to each other like, what the fuck? And then Ava comes in, and that's how they end the show. So we still don't have really a confirmation on what the hell's going on here. So that's probably how the next episode will end. But all right, Robert, what do you think of this finish with a double? Okay. I've seen this finish before where they do this.
Right. I've seen it too.
Let's hear your thoughts.
Okay. Just looking at the finish itself, I'm not a fan of finishes like that, right? But, you know, in this case, context is important, right? Like, leading up to this, I remember in one of the episodes a few weeks back when we were going over an angle involving Eddie Thorpe, I said I don't really care because I don't care about Eddie. I don't know who Eddie Thorpe is, so I don't really care about this. But then, you know, after that reveal where he basically swerved Ava into giving him a title match, that he staged it all. Now I'm like, hey, you know what? This is actually interesting. I'm kind of digging this angle, right? And then knowing that there was this match would determine who goes up against Obafemi next. I was thinking like, if Eddie Thorpe loses after all that just happened, it would be a shame, right? So an interesting angle comes up, and it would have sucked that it just ended on that night. So because of that, you know, as context, I don't actually mind this finish. Typically, I don't like this, but this time it was okay for me because I kind of like to see where they go from here.
All right, so look at that. Robert gave it a half thumbs up, and I had a thumbs down for that. Well, I just think it's really silly when Trick lands on Eddie Thorpe like that. It's just like not. It doesn't seem like something that would ever fucking happen. Vlad, I know you didn't see the match, but what do you think of this picture? Look, give a comment on this picture, please. Come on, this just looks too super ridiculous. Like everything with Eddie Thorpe, I loved. I love the swerve. I love his new gimmick coming out, but I just didn't like this ending. So, Vlad, do you have any comments?
You know, I mean, I've seen finishes like this before done in wrestling. I don't know enough about this Eddie Thorpe guy that they should use it on him or not. From what I saw, what you showed me last week, there's two big guys, Trick Williams and Obi Femi, and this little piece of shit guy. But also, they're using this kind of weird finish on him. I don't really know enough about this guy to say he's good or he's bad. From what I've seen, I would say he's kind of more of an annoyance than a guy that could be pushed as a superstar. I don't know, especially when you have Trick Williams and Obi Femi, who look like two legit badasses when they be fighting each other, you would think. But I don't have a problem with
this finish on him. Why would you use this finish on anybody anywhere? Like, I just have a problem with, like, maybe Trick is laying there.
Well, right. Maybe they could have done it differently as far as the positioning of how the wrestlers were going to be. Because I've seen somewhere that where both guys were pinned and stuff like that, and it kind of made a little bit more sense. You're right. Maybe here the way Trick is would be impossible to get in that position in the first place. Like, how is that even possible? I didn't see the match to say if it looked organic or natural. It probably, what you're saying is it didn't. Right? There's no way he could ever get in that position after landing that move, right? Is that what you're basically saying?
I mean, it just seems like so super lucky that he just hits his trick shot and then falls on top of Eddie Thorpe where his shoulders are down on the mat. So, I don't know. Yeah. All right, well, let me move along then. Last angle of the day, last storyline. And I'm not really going to go through this storyline too much for the storyline, but I just want to talk about the blood. I don't know, Vlad, if you saw the pictures of what happened with Javon Evans.
No.
And Ethan Page. So Ethan Page is doing his sulking. Actually, this scene in the beginning was really fucking funny because Ethan Page was coming out all depressed to the show, and Javon Evans just jumps in front of him like the exact opposite, like happy as a bird, enthusiastic about life and everything, and jumps on the counter and is dancing with the fans. So this leads to something with Javon and Ethan. So I don't know if Ethan was mad about, probably about Javon Evans getting, bumping into him. So he bumps into Javon Evans here, goes to the ring to cut a promo, cuts a really sad promo, uses the Shawn Michaels line about how he's lost his smile and everything, which I thought was douche-chillingly bad, but okay. And then Javon Evans comes in trying to be a nice guy, trying to encourage him, trying to tell him all the good stuff he's done, only for Ethan Page to nail him in the face. And then he does the steel chair thing where he sets up the steel chair on his neck, and I forgot what he does. Does he kick him or steps on him? Yeah, he steps on the chair. And then this is the fuck is that? It's blood. It's blood spewing out of Javon Evans' mouth.
God.
Pretty over the top.
That wasn't real blood. People had one of those. Oh, come on, man.
Well, they've been using this kind of a lot lately. Like Darby Allin had an interview where he started bleeding from the mouth the other day too. Remember, he was socking himself in the face, and he started spewing. If I was
Darby Allin, I'd probably be punching myself in the face too. But
all right, I'll start with Robert since Robert's our resident NXT expert. Yes. What did you think of the blood here? Is this too much or what? Is this?
It was a bit much, but when I reviewed this angle, I wasn't focused on the blood. I was focused on the angle.
No, me too.
Which I did love, but I did think if we're gonna just talk about the blood, yes, I do think it was a bit excessive.
That's too much blood. Like, how is that much blood gonna come out of you, bro? That's too much. Right. Anyways, Vlad, do you have any comments on the use of these like blood packs in the mouth or something? Or is this too much? Here's our ratings, by the way. Robert, 2 thumbs up.
Well, was it supposed to? If it was around his neck, why is he bleeding? Was it supposed to? How did they? I don't understand. Maybe I'm just not understanding how these. It's hard for me to gauge or judge this based on just these photos, but it looks ridiculous. It looks absurd. Because if he's got it around his neck, like you showed, But unless you're saying it somehow caught him in the jaw and mouth, I guess it's possible, but not that amount of blood. There's no way he could have that amount of blood, unless somebody was physically cutting his mouth.
I mean, they definitely are doing blood now. Like there was a while where WWE wouldn't do blood, right? Like it was not allowed, even when it was a blood feud or something. So now there's blood fucking all the time everywhere. But all right, that's all I have to say about that. I didn't really want to focus on the angle, but Robert did give the storyline 2 thumbs up there, and I gave it a thumbs up still.